Hey guys, what's up? Alec back with the daily stock market, and look at that, not much going on in the stock market on Friday at market close. However, we do see NEO down 7.2%, so there'll be an interesting stock to be talking about in this video, so stay tuned for that. Now, today we're going to talk about one of your guys' favorite videos, which is the best stocks in the stock market currently under $10 per share. Okay, and to start off the list, we're talking about Ford Motors. Yes, they're closer to $11 to $12 per share. However, they made this list because I want to be buying under $10 per share. So before we dive into this video, just smash a big thumbs up on this video. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube for all the full-length videos, the only place to find the full-length videos, and let's dive right into it. So first up is Ford Motors, and they are down 15% in the past month. And from their July highs, just about a month ago, they're down 21 to 22%. So is now the time to be buying Ford Motors? Remember, they were closer to $15 per share. So could it be a good time to load up on Ford Motors for a swing trade or even a long-term investment? Let's find out. So if we look at a 5-year chart, we can see that they have a support around $11 per share that they've touched on June 2022, on October 2022, again in December 2022, March 2023, and also May 19th, and then most recently here in August. So is now a good time to be buying at that support. I think dollar cost averaging and starting a position in Ford Motors is a great time. Okay, remember, this is not financial advice, just my own personal opinions, but it's a good time to throw $100, $200 into Ford Motor stocks. Start acquiring 10 to 20 shares for a swing trade or even long-term investing, and then dollar cost averaging in under or $12 to $13 per share, I think is a good idea overall. However, the reason why this stock made the list, Ford Motors, is because I think there's a strong possibility that they actually break this support this time. It becomes weaker and weaker each time it hits this support. That support becomes weaker and weaker. And I think that this could be the time that they break through that support and go closer to $8, $9, or even $10 per share. So personally, that's where I'm waiting to load the boat on Ford Motors, closer to that $8 range, but even $9, $10 per share could start getting a little bit more attractive where I want to start putting more money towards Ford Motors. This morning, I was posting about Ford Motors on my Instagram, so if you're not following along there, make sure to check out the Instagram and join the family on Instagram. But we see Ford Motors F-150 Lightning surpasses Tesla Cybertruck in buyer interest, reveals a study, and I was questioning, will Ford outpace Tesla in the long run? They're only a $10 stock. Tesla's closer to $200 per share, and it'll probably be $300, $400 per share again in the future. So the people that like the $10 stocks, the cheaper stocks, Ford could be a lot more interesting than Tesla to own more shares of. The latest study by Cox Automotive reveals Ford Motor F-150 Lightning has captured the hearts of electric pickup enthusiasts, overshadowing Elon Musk's led Tesla Cybertruck, and soon to be launched, by the way. But more importantly, let's dive into the financials and see what Ford Motors looks like. Okay, net income is very inconsistent. This is quarter over quarter, by the way. We've seen some great growth, and the most recent quarter, they reported $2.02 billion in net income, which is a great thing to see that kind of growth. However, if we zoom out on the annual and look at the yearly, they've been very inconsistent, and they've been even unprofitable 2 out of the last 3 years. 2020 and 2022, with 2021 being one of their most profitable net income years at $17.9 billion. So that's something interesting to consider. Now, we even see the revenue leveling out. So overall, we shouldn't really see Ford as a huge growth stock that's going to grow rapidly. However, for a swing trade, I think they could bounce back to the levels that they've been at before, closer to that $14, $15, even $16 mark. And if we see that net income on the quarterly graph keep growing to 2.5, 3 billion, 3.5, 4 billion, that's going to be a very good sign for long-term investors. And that's really where we can see a lot of the growth from the stock price coming from, is if we see that growth in the net income. If we scroll down to the balance sheet, it's very concerning with 83% of debt to asset liabilities. Okay, so this is an extremely speculative stock, and I would treat it as a speculative stock, meaning I wouldn't go over 2 to 3% portfolio diversity for long-term investing in my long-term portfolio, which is a small slice of the pie and gives me enough risk to manage. If we move over what analysts have to think about Ford Motors, we can see a 29% upside overall. Some analysts have them as low as $11 per share as your risk in the next 12 months, and as high as $23 per share as your biggest upside potential in the next 12 months. And if that comes true, that would be a huge percent gain if we're able to buy under $10 per share, close to that $8 or $9 mark. We can see a lot of these analysts have just reiterated this month. A lot of five-star analysts. We have a Morgan Stanley analyst that was named Adam Jonas, and they have a $16 price target in the next 12 months. Another five-star analyst, Ivan, coming at a $22 price target, reiterated 12 days ago. We have a four-star analyst at a $13 price target, and the list goes on, and you can read these price targets for yourself and see where these analysts are coming from. We even have John Murphy coming from Bank of America 23 days ago, said there should be a $23 price target on Ford Motors in the next 12 months. A Goldman Sachs analyst, Mark, with a $14 price target. NIO is the next stock that we have to talk about at $10.67 per share, down 7% on the day. So they just turned into a $10 stock on Friday. And typically when they go under $10 per share, I like to buy for my swing trades. Now they're down 32% just this month from the beginning of August to the present day of August. They were closer to $15 per share. So this could be a huge swing trade opportunity. And if you guys want to see exactly what swing trades I'm buying, what option trades, expiration date, strike prices, and follow my signals along, here's a look into my private trading group real quick. Let's go over. I just want to highlight some success, up 330%. Another member killing the day, up over $500 between all the different trades, and the list goes on and on. We could scroll up for a while and look at all of these different success stories, up 23% in the past week. Happy with this week, averaging $50 a day. Another member up to 32% on the week, starting to turn around. Patience is a key for me. Another member up $53. Accounts of all size are welcome. Someone posting great week, up 128% on the week, a $938 gain, doubling their account size in just 1 week with our group. Another member up $870 just from one trade. Some baby plays over the last few days. Keep everything light still. Should have gone big on Alex plays, but I forgot. So you remember I do post all my own trades on this group, so some people like to leverage that and go a little bit larger on my trades. So if you want to become a part of that private trading group, just message me here at the Daily Stock Market. It's that easy, and I'll shoot you over an application so that way I can help you out the best way possible. And then after that, shoot you over my website so you can see what everything entails. So DM me on Instagram if you want to join. But jumping back over to NIO stock and giving the update on NIO, they are up 35% in the past 3 months. So remember, they were closer to $7 per share. That's where we did the swing trade in the past, and they went up as much as 90 to 100%. So we're looking for something like that again. Being patient on this trade could pay off. So buying, 10, 20 shares now, dollar cost averaging your way down under $10 per share, and then buying the bigger lump sums closer to $6 per share, $7 per share, $8 per share. That's where the main benefits are going to come from when trading or swing trading NIO stock. We can also highlight that they are down 45% in the past year, by the way. They were closer to $20 per share this time last year. And in the last 5 years, This is really the lowest we've seen Neo stock trading besides that huge run up that they had to $60 per share, which was, anywhere before June or mid 2020. Okay, so after mid 2020 to present day, this is really the cheapest that you can get your hands on Neo stock. Around that $7 to $10 mark, I think, is a buy zone for swing trading and long-term investing. But let's dive a little bit deeper to see what the risks are. Okay, so now let's dive into some key financials. Now, unfortunately, Neo has not been a profitable company for a full year since the inception of the company. We can go back and see that it's been unprofitable every single year, but this year has been the worst, negative 14 billion, and the year before that was negative 4 billion, negative 3 billion. So we were starting to see some progress from 2019 to 2021. However, this year really threw a wrench in the situation. If we go over to quarter over quarter growth, we can see that it's really not much better. We're almost averaging for a full year around 20 billion, like 18 to 20 billion, 15 billion at the best of a negative loss for this year, 2023. So this year could be the worst loss of them yet. That quarter over quarter chart is not getting better, it's getting worse. As you can see, the losses are becoming greater and greater from Q1 2022 to Q4 2022. The bars are just getting bigger in a downward direction, which is extremely disheartening to see for a long-term investor and should be treated as a skeptical stock and a small sliver of your long-term portfolio until they can manage to show some financials that are actually healthy for a company. If we look at the total revenue, the quarter over quarter, they were growing from Q1 2022 to Q4, growing significantly on their revenue from 9.9 billion to 16 billion, which is great growth. Now, the revenue has never been something that Neo has been lacking at. As you can see, growing revenue every single year consistently from only 7.8 billion in 2019 all the way to almost 50 billion in 2022. Now, if we look at the quarterly chart one more time, we can see that they are on track to actually post their most profitable or their biggest revenue quarter that they've ever posted in 2023. So that is a bullish thing, one bullish thing, and that's obviously why people are excited about Neo stock and always have been, is because they've been a huge driver of revenue. But as that revenue is increasing, we should start to see that revenue, the net income, more importantly, start increasing. So it's very important, something very, very important to track if you're a Neo investor for long term, is that profitability quarter over quarter on that net income. Scrolling down to the balance sheet, it's also very concerning because just in about 1 year, we can see that their debt to asset ratio has gone from 57% to 73%. That's extremely concerning, showing that they're running out of cash extremely quickly and they're taking on massive amounts of debt. Just in 1 year, they've taken on around 15 to 16 billion in additional liabilities, with only raising their assets around 2 billion in the same time. If we look at their annual, we can see in 2020 they were closer to 41 and 54% debt to asset ratio in 2020 and 2021, which is where you want to see a company like this. But now that we're seeing 71% and their debt to asset ratio growing extremely quickly, it's more pressure on that net income to get to profitability now more than ever. It's almost like a make or break situation because we really don't want to see those liabilities catching up with the assets. Now, Neo has a unique situation also because they are backed up with the Chinese government. The Chinese government's basically backing them up. So there is a lower percentage chance of them going bankrupt, something to keep in mind. And if we look at what analysts have to say about Neo, we see a 21% upside on average with a price target of around $13 per share in the next 12 months on analysts' estimates. $19 per share is your greatest upside in analyst opinion, and $7.50 is your biggest risk in analyst opinion. If we scroll down, we can see where these analysts are coming from. Bank of America's analyst coming in at $16.20, which I really agree with. Around that $15, $16 mark, I think could happen in the next 12 to 24 months, in my opinion. And that would be around a 60% gain on the share price from current levels. So yes, there's a lot of risk with something like NEO stock, but there's also a good amount of reward with a swing trade, holding for 3 months, 2 months, even up to 6 months. Or even long-term investing where you hold from 12 months, 24 months, or even 36 months. And if you're able to get in under $10 per share, some people are even planning to hold NEO for as long as 5 to 10 years. So overall, I hope you really enjoyed that video. Let me know if you want part 2 of the stocks under $10 per share. I was going to add a couple more stocks in this video, but we ended up doing a deep dive into Ford and NEO stock. So I think that's a great place to start with stocks under $10 per share. In the month of August 2023, we have some exciting stocks to talk about in the future videos coming up. There's another video coming out tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed with post notifications on so you don't miss out on that full-length video on YouTube. Thank you guys for the love and support. If you want to join my close friends list, by the way, click on success number 9, read through some of those positive testimonials, and message me on Instagram to join. It's that simple. The Daily Stock Market, 209,000 followers, 809 posts. Message me here. I respond to every single message. So if you have questions about my program or just want to get in touch, message me here in the DMs and I will respond. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Share this video with a friend if you think that they will find value in it and if they like to invest in stocks under $10 per share. And I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Remember, don't time the market, buy the market. Peace.